And we saw your African counterparts in the United States posing for a sort of class photo with President Trump. And I'll share a comment from a friend of mine who said that Captain Traoré would never have accepted that. Is that true?
Listen, I don't travel much anymore, as you mentioned. And I went to Russia twice for very specific purposes. It may be that I turn to other partners for very specific objectives. Other than that, I don't plan to travel around the world like others do. Because for me, you have to stay focused and work for your country. President Trump himself said, America first. It's America first. He works for the interests of Americans. So I work for the interests of Burkina Faso. If I have no interest there, what would I go there for?
So one of the major current geopolitical issues is, of course, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. We see states taking a stronger and stronger stance. We've seen Western European states, to name them, say that they will recognize. And that's a strong signal, the Palestinian state. But as usual, Africa is almost silent. It is in a wait-and-see position. From Burkina, can you give a position that helps us understand a bit about what Africa thinks regarding what is happening today in the Gaza Strip?
I can't give you a position that shows what Africa thinks.
Certain matters. For certain African leaders?
Because many African leaders have a different way of seeing things. That's Africa's misfortune, if I may say so. We are not united. We don't see things the same way. Some are afraid, some are hesitant, some are there for the interests of other people. Listen, the West brought in people who grew up there, did everything there, and then made them heads of state in Africa. So they're the ones who control all of that. And so Africa can't have an opinion. But I know that deep down in each and every one of us, no one would want to see what's happening over there happen in their own country. But unfortunately, on the African continent, there's a similar situation in Congo. What are we even doing for Congo?
The Democratic Republic of Congo.
How many millions of deaths has it been, and for how long? We ourselves are at war. Have you seen any African countries even speak up for Burkina in the past 10 years? It's rare, it's rare. So Africans have this problem. While when someone in Europe sees they have a problem, everyone is united, people manage to quickly find solutions. It's the same in the United States. But Africa has this problem. You see, we've been fighting for 10 years. You haven't heard anyone raise Burkina's voice at the level of international institutions, nor Mali's, nor Niger's. Our people are dying, and it's not their problem. Congo is dying, and it's not our problem. Last time I tried in one of my speeches to speak out. How many millions of deaths has it been? Look at Sudan, see how they're tearing each other apart. There are so many conflicts on our... We're already struggling, and we can't even make our own voices heard. So how are we going to speak up for others? So we Africans need to come together.
Can Burkina recognize a Palestinian state? Is Burkina ready to recognize the Palestinian state?
Why not? It's a state. It's a state. Why wouldn't we recognize a Palestinian state? No, what's happening is very serious. I think the Palestinian state exists and must exist. Otherwise, this war will never end. Where we're headed, it will never end. While you think it's going to end, it starts up again even stronger. We're going to keep going like this. But I also think that the countries around there bear a lot of responsibility because it's their region and people must be able to have a say in finding a solution to this conflict. That's it. And as for us, we keep fighting here. The Burkinabe state must endure. That's what's most important. And we're fighting to establish the Burkinabe state.
There you go, Mr. President. We have now reached the end of these 90 minutes facing the press. Thank you for your availability, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity given to both the national and international press. But before we part ways, Mr. President, do you have a special and important message for the wonderful people of Burkina Faso as the significant third anniversary of your rise to the highest office in the nation rapidly approaches?
To the people of Burkina Faso, it's been 3 years that we've been here and moving forward together. First, I have words of thanks, heartfelt thanks, because the people have remained focused on listening to the message we've conveyed. Because one of the most important tools we've used is also communication. And because we have understood the NPR, they have always used communication to destroy Africa. Because all the conflicts that are happening are manipulations. They are manipulations. Look, let me take the case of Sudan again. Two groups are being manipulated by powerful interests. Shouldn't we at some point talk to each other, sit down, and make use of our resources together? Are we going to provide for our people, or are we going to keep tearing each other apart? Everything that has happened, like the assassination of political leaders in Africa, the wars and all that, it was through manipulated communication, and communication is very important. And in this regard, the Burkinabe people have been focused on understanding the message. And we will continue to communicate to help them understand what we are doing and where we are heading. That is the most important thing. Secondly, I also thank God who has allowed us, despite the war, to take action and communicate about these actions so that the people understand that a better tomorrow is possible. Hope is allowed, and as long as people hold on to that hope, we will reach the point we are aiming for. And the last thing is this current security situation. To reassure you that the war will end in Burkina Faso, we will live in peace, we will make use of our resources, and we will develop ourselves. That is a certainty. The dream we have for Burkina Faso, we will achieve it. We will continue to reclaim the last major strongholds of terrorism, just as we did in 2025 with that large valley, which was a major reservoir. An economic stronghold for the terrorists that we have taken back. There are several other places where their terrorist activities continue, supplying them and everything. We will reclaim all these areas, and there is reason to hope. So good luck to everyone. Stay focused, stay resilient, and we will keep talking to each other. That's the most important thing. Once we talk to each other, we understand each other, and we move forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. So that will be the closing word.
Thank you.